What up, everybody? It's me, Jason. Look, this past weekend, I went to the vice president's house for the hip hop 50th anniversary hip hop party at her house. And I took this picture. You've seen it, but it wasn't the picture that I want to talk to you about. It's the video that's been seen around the world that I took. This video right here. Okay, so there's that video. Now, I shared that video of the vice president. I took that video of the vice president and I posted it in a way that everybody would still not give me credit because I didn't want the credit. What I wanted was for the world to see it, and 20 million views later, it's clear that you have. I've been looking at all the comments over the last couple of days of everybody that's had stuff to say, from white folks to Republicans to black people to white people, about what black people should feel about it. I've been looking at all the comments, and my only question is, why do y'all hate her so much? Why do y'all hate her so much? What has Kamala Harris done to you that's made you hate her so much? She grew up in Oakland, California, which is not an easy city to grow up in, as a mixed biracial child, which I could tell you as a mixed breed, it ain't easy. She became an attorney. She became a female attorney general in California, working under a Republican administration. She then went on to become a state senator that we all love because she was in their ass about stuff over there on the Hill, and then got elected as the first female and the first black female vice president of the United States. And somehow she ain't shit. She ain't shit. She locked up all the black men in California. Really? When I read, she's doing nothing for the culture. She's doing nothing for black people. Really? She's bad for the White House. She's taking us backwards. We're gonna vote for Trump. Okay. Really? One, y'all don't want to eradicate the police department for people giving tickets to you for speeding in the 25-mile zone. You don't get mad at the police, you get mad at the lawmaker, because the police didn't make the law that says you can't drive faster in that area. Yet, as Attorney General, for enforcing the 3 strikes law that was created by Pete Wilson, who was a white racist in California, makes her the bad guy? Half of y'all that talk about politics don't vote. The other half don't understand how the law works. And those of you that are talking about the 3 strikes law don't even live in California. So you don't even know how our laws work. Then you say she's not doing enough for the country. She's not the president. She's the vice president. But when you look at what the president is doing, he's done a lot for the country. He just ain't on TV every day talking about it. Why don't you know? Because their teams aren't communicating the best and we're not paying attention the most. But what I will say is that when I looked at all the commentary of Kamala's dancing at the White House, at the vice president's party, it really disappointed me. There was a lot of great comments, like Black Twitter, a lot of great comments, people saying Auntie Kamala, and this is the Kamala we want to see. And I've told the vice president, I've told her team, this is what people want to see. But it was the racist, white supremacist uprooting of hatred towards a black woman that I saw from the right, and the complicit behavior of sleep black folks who were participating in it that disappointed me. Now, as a black gay entrepreneur, when white people hate on me or tell me I'm not ready or not big enough or this or that or whatever, or they minimize who I am, it is what it is. I take it on the chin and I keep killing it. But when black hate happens, it hurts more. It hurts more when black people hate on you. Black folks have an epidemic in its culture and community in the United States that we need to understand, and that is the inferiority complex to white people and whiteness, and self-hate in the black community. Some of y'all don't like Kamala Harris just simply because she's great. Some of y'all talk about you don't like her and don't support her, but you ain't done nothing to research her agenda or what she's doing. The white folks, when they saw her dancing at this party, it was only a 3.5-hour party, by the way, celebrating the global impact of hip hop during its 50th anniversary. The white folks say, why was the border czar partying with the rappers? And then black folks would have been saying, if she didn't do it, why she ain't acknowledging black music and the impact it's had on culture? How is Kamala Harris the second most powerful person in the world, yet nothing she does is good enough? Nothing she does is good enough. Everything she does is bad to white folks. And sometimes what she does ain't good enough for blacks. I'm confused. Black people, you need to go look in the mirror and ask you, why do you hate us so much? Why do you hate each other so much? I've never hated on anybody. I may give an opinion. I may be critical of a person's performance or something. I can say I don't like a person, but I respect their work, or I respect their work, but don't like them. I know how to differentiate it. But at least I do my research and pay attention. What are you doing? How is it that the vice president dancing to vibrant, the vibe, how did that not make you say, damn, she's human? So let me go ahead and look into what she's doing so I can support her a little more.
I don't know about any of y'all, but shaking ass would not get me to like any politician on this
Because
planet.
those of you saying you don't like Kamala, those of you saying that you don't like Kamala and are going to vote for Trump mean that you don't care about gay rights, you don't care about trans rights, you don't care that they believe that Muslims, or at least Trump believed that Muslims were terrorists, you don't care that women shouldn't have the right to abortion, you don't care about voter rights, you don't care about none of that because your little $300 stimulus that Trump gave you was more important than supporting a black woman to be successful. I'm riding for Kamala. I'm asking all my supporters to do it, and I challenge anybody that don't like her to tell me why.
I don't know how to break this to anybody who seems to want to be in this groupthink mindset that every single black person is supposed to like every single black person, regardless of anything that they do, say, or become derogatory towards not just black people, but everybody on the planet. But it's okay that black people don't like Kamala Harris for political reasons, personal reasons, or stupid reasons. That's their reasons, and you have no stake in that game to demand, dictate, or pressure somebody into liking someone. You same people that are so fixated on Kamala and how much black people either do or don't like her, for some reason spend all that time bitching about social constructs and bitching about everything under the sun being racist, yet you didn't have a single problem with a white guy telling you if you didn't vote for him, white guy, you were not black. So spare me this talk about how we are all supposed to do this and we're all supposed to do that, when once again, you motherfuckers not unified on a damn thing. All this groupthink around politics and black people, it really confuses me because everybody didn't grow up the same. Everybody don't have the same experience. I've said this numerous times, but it's lost on many people, not just black people, but white people. Because for some reason, and I don't know where it started, and I'm not even gonna bother spending my time trying to figure out when it started, somewhere along the way, people started to understand that you're supposed to think like each other. And if you don't, obviously something's wrong with you. Something is not really good upstairs, because how could you not think like me? It's not because of the fact that we grew up in two completely different scenarios and the only thing that's even possibly similar is our skin color. We have that bond. We brothers, we sisters, we for the people, blah, 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 blah. There are many issues that exist amongst the black people that don't get talked about by many of these politicians on the left and on the right. And it's embarrassing how, for some reason, just because there's a black person in the main household of presidential stature, vice presidency, we're supposed to care to some benign degree that this person should not be criticized for anything and should always be praised. And if she's not, obviously those black people are nothing more than a problem. But this created funny opportunity for me because I'd always heard of black people making videos or making tweets describing their stories of leaving the left, and I was always curious, but I was too bored scratching my feet to be invested in any of that. And I decided to invest my time into that, and here's what I found.
Left knows exactly how to bait black people because they use things like racism. The other day, Michelle Obama went on TV. She gave a whole speech, talked about how Trump was this and Trump was that. And at the very end of what she said, she made sure to say, and yes, it is racist. You know why? Because the minute you call anything racist or you add race into it, black people get emotional and they come out. Kamala did the same thing because they know how to bait black people in. Here's my thing, and I've told black people this before, who are Democrats. I don't try to convince Democrats to be Republicans. did. What I tried to convince them to do is know your history and read a little bit. Do your research. If you still want to vote Democrat, do what you do, but be an educated and an informed voter. Most Democrats can't tell you why they Democrats. They just hate Donald Trump. They can't even tell you what Biden did in 47 years, but they're going to vote for him. They can't tell you what Kamala did while she was in California, locking black people up left and right, but they're going to vote for her. When will the slaves get off the plantation? You know what happens when slaves get off their plantation? The house tell on.
Like, I knew that there were trans people running around. I knew that was a thing, but I never really actually paid attention to the impact of that until it directly affected me, which is how most things work. So upon coming to that realization, I'm like, wait a minute. What laws? Why can't we discriminate against? Why is there a man in my room? Because we can't discriminate. But what about me? I'm a woman. I'm 21 years old. I was 21 at the time. And y'all moving this man in my room? What if something happens to me? Nobody would care. So after this experience, I became extremely interested in these so-called discrimination laws or whatever this person was speaking on. And I done fell down the conservative rabbit hole from that point forward. I found myself watching Matt Walsh, who's of the Daily Wire, and he has a documentary called What is a Woman? And it's basically about my situation where trans men are erasing women. And after watching that film, I realized that I was supporting literally satanic stuff. I didn't know. I thought I was being PC, right? No. I was supporting Satan. And I'm a Christian. I was raised a Christian. So I'm like, this ain't right. This is not aligning with my Christian values. Wait a minute. We're calling men women. It's not lying. God doesn't make mistakes. So why am I calling you a she and you're a man?
Speaking about racism, let's actually move along to the driving force behind me walking away from the left and voting for Trump. Number 5, stop selling my people a pipe dream, Biden. I don't know what I have to say in order to drill this into people's brains, but racism is never going away. Ever. It's been a thing since the dawn of time and will continue to be a thing for as long as mankind has free will. So when I see a politician using racism to spearhead a campaign while ignoring objectivity to properly identify situations that are indeed racist, it tells me that they want you to focus on the racism so you'll ignore all the statism. And if you're one of those folks that are getting ready to fire up a 5-paragraph double-spaced comment about how much I'm wrong, stop it. I'm serious, stop typing. Try out this experiment first. Instead of writing a mean comment to me, tell me why you voted for Biden without mentioning Trump. Or if you're some sicko that likes a Dark Souls type of challenge, tell me what policies you like without mentioning someone's personality or moral compass.
You know what is interesting about everything I just showed you? All these different people grew up different, had their own experiences, and decided based on whatever reasons, whether it be political, whether it be personal, whether it be downright fucking stupid, they're going to put their time onto the other side of politics. And maybe it works out for them, and maybe it won't, and they'll come to the realization that I came 2 years ago, that both sides got their fucking problems, and unless they come together to solve all the fucking problems of America, we're gonna keep bitching and picking sides and really not getting anything done. But in the meantime, I would just like for you all to know a few things. You don't have to subscribe to groupthink. You can think for yourself. You can think critically. You can come to your own conclusions as long as they are correct and moral in the right context. If you're going around spouting nonsense, you look like a dumbass, and I'm pretty certain somebody demanding that a bunch of people like Kamala Harris, primarily because she's black, is a dumbass. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. And no, I don't care about your political affiliations because that doesn't matter to me. What matters is if you're a decent fucking human being. Goodbye.